I thought about this quite a bit today, and I went back and looked at some things. First thing I want to say is everything I'm about to say is from me and me alone. And I'm saying that like that because I want it to be known it's from me. I'm hoping that these will follow you the rest of your days. So I wanted to explain that to you. This is me talking to you, and I'm talking how I feel and what I have put up with. And I want to say this too. It would be it wouldn't even be what I'm about to tell you wouldn't matter if we included everybody that you've attacked online or just myself. So either way you look at it, whether it was just one or 1,000, I still mean what I'm about to say, and I mean it from the very depths of my soul. I'd put my hand on the Bible right now and be sworn in that what I'm about to say is true and comes straight from me. So keep that in mind, because I don't usually go around, if I'm joking, I'm joking, and I'll say I am, but when I'm telling you something true, I'm telling you the truth, and I put my name behind it. You know, you're not going to listen, and you're not going to take any advice from anyone, and anyone that even tries, I mean, you might as well leave your comments off, because you're not going to listen to anyone anyway. You're not going to take no constructive criticisms of any kind. You are stuck way back whenever you got told no, and you're not going to move from that until you successfully get what you want, which will never happen. If I'm if I'm a part of it, it'll never happen. I just want to clear this up, that this is from me. I just want you to understand that I feel like you deserve every everything from this point on that comes your way that's bad. You have you deserve everything. Now, if you change your ways and things, you can kind of get a check on yourself. That's a different story. But as of right now, I don't really see that happening. But I can't. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you at all. Whatever little bit I had for you, you went ahead and severed that for us. And I really feel like, if you have bad luck from now till the end of the days and you never change your ways, well, in my opinion, you deserve every second of it. You deserve every second. And I want to clear this up too for you. I know it ain't for you, really. It's for anybody listening. You have been on YouTube longer than anybody really knows, because you back and forth and what got deleted and so forth. And for all that time, all those years, even when I was coming down all the time to be my mom, don't think for 1 second I didn't know what you were doing and what you were writing and saying. I know back then it was always me, and that was fine. My mom even showed me how to find you. That's what's so ironic about it. But, we took it with a grain of salt, just as I'm really taking it now. I'm just putting this here so it'll follow you and your little lies for as long as you're telling them. I'll be right behind you. I want you to think about this, and if you can, I'm sure everybody else will. For years before anyone ever knew about you, you sat in the condo, you sat in the tent, you've sat in a truck, and you have just ridiculed me. Not as bad as you have lately, but you kept on and accusing and blaming and just creating stories. You say that that I said you were evil as a baby. No, that's not at all what I said. I said that what light you had in you at birth over the years has finally diminished until all I see is darkness. And that's what I see now, is darkness. I see somebody who can't be helped. I wrote it down just so I can get it right, and because I know it's going to, I'm not going to waste a lot of time coming back and forth with you. So I wanted to make sure I say what I got to say. I'm sure I'll have to come back on here and say something to you later, but I wanted to get this point across. But for years, you did that to me. You just sat out there spewing your little tales because you knew, I mean, there's no way I would be friends with you or anyone that knows, would be friends with you. Certainly would never be a friend of mine. So you never even paid it no mind. You really thought that you could just talk and no one would ever know the truth. You, but you were wrong. You were wrong. And when you say the book was anonymous, well, I'm gonna tell you something. It wasn't too anonymous because you advertised it on YouTube. You talked about how you wrote it at right after you got on Zoloft. I mean, I could tell you the whole story of how you wrote it over a Saturday. I think you wrote it Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't anonymous. It was very, very obvious who you were. You made sure of that. And I wrote an honest review on that. I paid for it, and I wrote the review, and I meant it. I couldn't, I wasn't going to lash out or say something stupid on there because I got enough sense to know that I needed it to be a proper, you know, a proper review as far as I could do is proper anyway. You, that, even then though, I mean, if you think about it, and if you hadn't have deleted everything, people would be able to see. I said something in the review, and I said something one other time, and you did what you. Well, let me ask you, what did you do? Well, let me refresh your memory. You deleted, and you kept talking. You just kept on going. You didn't even miss a beat. You just deleted comments and kept going. And then that went on for a few years. And then I saw that you were talking about, my daughter, and you'd lied in the book about her. And that was troubling to me. Very troubling to me. And I went on your YouTube channel and in your comments, I asked you to stop. To stop. And I was sincere about it. And what did you do? Your usual. Delete and then ridicule. Delete, ridicule. And it just got a little worse from there. You're, you, I did write a very honest review. And you know what I call your book? It's trash. It's a trash can liner. I mean, in fact, it's not even good enough to go in the can. It goes in right with the bag. It's not even good enough to use for anything else. It's not even good enough for my dog or the rabbit or a cat if I had it. And then you just kept on with my daughter because you knew that was, you don't know what it feels like to seriously suffer anything or to suffer a loss. So you attacked the one thing that you know that would truly touch my heart, and that's my children. First you started with Angela, and then you moved on to Sarah because she made a comment, "Are you mad?" You know why she commented on that? Because of what you were writing about her sister. It had nothing, really, she wasn't doing it for me, per se. She knows I can take care of myself. She did it because she stood up for her sister, who could not speak. And what'd you do? You deleted, and you kept on going with that mouth of yours. And you talked about more lies. And I'm going to tell you something else that I know is out there, even though you got rid of it. April 6th, I couldn't remember if it was this year or last year, but on April 6th, the day Angela left, I wrote you a comment in her memory. I mean, a very serious comment in her memory because I felt she was a good soul, and that's what I did. It was in her honor. So I didn't trash you or do anything that she wouldn't have done. And I ask you to stop once again. Not for me. I mean, not for me. My life is good and complete. I ask you to stop for her boys, the two that she left here, the two that had lost their mama, the two that wasn't grown yet, the two that's memories stopped the day she passed away. That was it for them. They don't get no new ones. There's no more. That was it. And to have you tarnish them, what was there I was just hoping there was a little bit of something left in you to at least want to do something for them because they never hurt you at all. But what'd you do? Delete, delete, ignore, and continue. You brought me in this. You brought me to YouTube. You brought me all the way in when you did that. No one ever heard of me and no one ever would. And you know what? No one ever heard of anyone else in our family because you were the only one out there spewing. Because you know what? You weren't worth it to anybody. You know, and most everybody just sitting back and they hope that I make it through this. And if I don't, well, you know, I don't know what they'll do. And quite frankly, it's on them right now. It's not on me no more. What's on me is what I've already said. And that's what I'm dealing with. You know, I thought maybe if I talked to you in a decent way that you would at least honor the memory and give her son something, but you didn't want to do that. And you know what? All this time I kept it to myself. I didn't call anybody and tell them anything. You know why I didn't? Because I didn't want no one else to feel the sharp words that were coming out of your mouth. I didn't want no one else to be hurt by the things you were saying. Because I can't do that. I didn't want them to know. I didn't want no one I knew to know that you were even remotely connected to me in any respect. I didn't, no way did I want to be associated with you, and I didn't want to hurt no one else in my family. And when I say that, I mean my sisters and anyone else. But it did get to the point where I did start sharing with, you know, I did start telling them, and then what they would do with it would be up to them. But, you know, I found that you delete. You're actually very good at that, delete. You know, oh, you know, I'm going to stop it right here and download this and, or upload or whatever you call it. And then I'll continue because I really wrote it down. I didn't want to mix it all up in my head and my heart. Way to get it out there to you. I want it to follow you. I want it to follow you forever and ever.